Well, Lee, D-Day is fast approaching. Saturday, Newcastle v Hull. Who would have thought the impact this game could have? I mean, Chronicle Thursday night, 2-0 on the march. Police appealing for calm. I think the main thing from our point of view is, I mean, I agree that there should be some kind of protest about the way this football club's been run. But what must not happen is I don't think these protests must be allowed to affect anything that's going to happen on the pitch. I honestly believe now that Kevin Keegan's gone, at the moment, that Newcastle could be fighting a relegation battle this year. And the last thing we want in May is to say, you know, if the fans hadn't turned against the players on that game against Hull, those 3 points might have been vital. Do you think you agree with that?
Well, I don't think that the fans would ever turn on the players. I think they'll always be behind the 11, you know, guys wearing the jerseys. So I don't think they'll turn the players, but I think that there's always a danger when the atmosphere is so negative in the air that it can flow onto the pitch. You know what I mean? And I think it's happened before in the past, as you probably well testified.
Yeah, I've never known anything as bad as this, mind you. So much, you know. I mean, we've seen, sack the board. That chant was devised by Newcastle fans. I don't think we've ever seen as much animosity towards the board as this, and Dennis Wise is at the moment. But this is from your neck of the woods. Well, I'm from the sticks. You're from Whitley Bay, and it's from the Monksheaton Mags, from I think the Black Horse, Lee, in Monksheaton.
Yeah, Black Horse.
And you know, we agree with this. They're just appealing. Whatever happens, you know, I love this quote. We as a club have been at war in the past. We're at war now, and we'll not be at war in the future. But support the team on the field, and you know, agree with that, don't we?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's whatever you look at it. It's before this kicked off, it was a must-win game anyway, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now, if Newcastle do get sucked into dangerous waters, then these are the teams that you've got to pick maximum points up, you know.
Yeah.
Because these are going to be down there as well. You know, I know they've got 4 points from the first 6 games, and they got walloped off Wigan, didn't they? And I think that could be the.
Yeah.
I'm sure Phil Brown will have something to say about it. But
we don't be disrespectful to Hull, but. You know, it's a good game and a bad game for Newcastle. Good because, you know, it's not Chelsea or Arsenal, but it's bad because I think if it gets 20 minutes, half an hour, and Newcastle haven't scored, the fans will be getting edgy, then that's when it'll you know, be felt by the players. Just look at a nice Chronicle. Houghton maybe at the helm for 3 weeks. That's something we've been told, or Chris Houghton's been told, which suggests to me that they've got nobody in the pipeline. I mean, you know, Saturday's a big game, but you know, the manager situation's still a massive story.
And you know, Newcastle have been in this position before.
Yeah. But I mean, the Paul Ince situation's great interest. I mean, the bookies don't get it wrong, and he came down. Was it 200 to 1 yesterday morning? You were saying.
Yeah. On
Wednesday morning to 7 to 1. So say the bookies always seem to know something. You know, I've heard on the grapevine that Dennis Wise might even have approached Paul Ince, but I mean, that's not for us to say, because that would be an illegal approach, so we can't get involved in any of that. But you know, it's just everything. We just want to get this weekend over, really, and you know, Newcastle get 3 points, and you know, let's see what happens from there. I mean, the interesting thing is, of course, you know, while Newcastle will say a dithering, maybe, you know, they might pluck a manager out tomorrow. West Ham have appointed a manager, and what's going to happen? Make his home debut against Newcastle a week on Saturday, and it's going to be a carnival atmosphere, and it's going to be difficult for Newcastle out there. It always happens in Newcastle, doesn't it?
Well, if it's not manager's first game, all the players scoring against the club, Geordie players scoring against the club.
Yeah, we get it all.
You know, it just seems to be relentless, you know. Yeah. But you know, the players I think the players have got a responsibility as well. You know, I mean, they've got to come off fighting, and they've got to show these fans and get them on side, you know.
Well, last word, we'll go back to Saturday's game. It's Lee Ryder who stood on the Leazes end for that final game, May 1991, against Hull City.
Remember it well. Newcastle really weren't bad then, so I mean, you probably remember the game yourself, but
I can't remember last week's game.
But I mean, obviously Hull raced into a 2-0 lead last time. They already relegated, and Lee Clark got his first goal at St James's Park. So,
Never, yeah.
So that that shows just how long ago it was. 18,000 there.
Yeah. Well, I'm told that there was, one of the last videos we did was there was 70,000 hits, so we've got to hope and think that good for Newcastle United fans watch this video, and all we can say, and we'll never presume to speak for the fans or anything like that, is only hope on Saturday against Hull City that whatever protests may or may not occur, that nothing is allowed to affect what goes on in the field.
Yeah. Prediction?
Well, Newcastle victory. Newcastle's got to win by 2 or 3 goals. I mean, I suppose a lot depends on Michael. He's had he'll be delighted England won this week, but he'll be distraught that England scored 4 goals without him. And I mean, I thought Capello made a mistake by not including him, but that's life. And Michael, he will be captain again against Hull City, and we'll just see what Saturday brings.